Welcome to With My Whole Heart. I'm Jessica Mativi. I am the host of the show, and today we're talking about something that can be kind of difficult to talk about. It's about role reversal, how my husband and I made massive changes. He became the stay-at-home dad, where I became the financial provider. Hey friend, I'm Jessica, and this is With My Whole Heart. I'm a real-life woman juggling a lot of real-life things, raising girls, running a hair salon, chasing big dreams, and doing my best to stay grounded through it all. If you've ever found yourself in the thick of it, somewhere between who you've been and who you're becoming, this space is for you. Here, we talk about the middle, the messy, meaningful, beautiful middle. The big leaps, the small wins, the hard lessons, and the heart-led pivots. From business and beauty to faith, motherhood, and everything in between, nothing's off limits. So grab your coffee or your tea, get cozy, and let's dive in, because this journey, we're walking it together with our whole hearts. Today, I'm sharing a chapter of my life I never saw coming. A season that completely flipped what we thought life would look like, and yet somehow led us exactly where we needed to be. It changed everything for our family in both the best and the hardest ways. For most of my adult life, I worked a couple days a week while having babies, raising babies, nursing them, and running between naps, snacks, and ballet class. I was the one home, and I loved that rhythm, even in the exhaustion of it all. It was a sacred season of my life. During that time, my husband was working as a welder, putting in crazy long hours. He was working hard to support our family and doing everything he could do to provide, even when it meant missing a lot of time at home. It was a demanding and exhausting job, and I know he carried a lot on his shoulders during those years. Eventually, he felt a strong pull to join the military, and it wasn't a casual decision we made. He left his job as a welder and followed what he truly believed was a calling, and we were all in. That decision came with sacrifice, and we felt it deeply. He was gone for boot camp, and those 7 weeks felt like the longest weeks of my life. We were counting down the days to his graduation. We had 1 week left. He had almost finished it. He was right there, and we were so proud. Then everything changed. I was literally looking into flights to go to his graduation when I got the call that he was in med hold and being medically discharged. That call felt like a punch to the gut. My very first thought wasn't about the logistics or even the financial side of things. It was about my husband. I was instantly worried about him, about his mental well-being. He had sacrificed so much to pursue this calling, and to have it all fall apart at the finish line, I knew it wasn't going to be an easy battle. I knew it was going to be a mental battle more than anything else. He had poured so much into this dream, and I could feel the heartbreak through the phone. There was fear, confusion, frustration, and it was definitely a season of mourning. We had to grieve what we thought our life was going to be. But in that same breath, we made the decision. I would go full-time at the salon, and Andrew would stay home with the girls. And here's the thing. As soon as I stepped into this new role, we experienced a level of financial stability we had never known before. My books were full, the income was steady, and we knew without a doubt that we were being carried. It was such a clear sign of God's provision and confirmation that we were walking the path we were meant to walk. What surprised me the most was how natural it actually felt. There wasn't fear in the work itself, there was peace. It felt like this was the time I had been preparing for, even if I didn't realize it. And in that season, something shifted in me. I became more assertive. I learned to say no. When your schedule is packed, it becomes easier to guard your time and your energy. That season grew me in ways I didn't expect. But it wasn't just my story. It was our story. My husband's experience is just as important here. Taking on the role of a stay-at-home parent is not an easy thing to do, especially when it wasn't the original plan. It takes strength, flexibility, and a ton of humility. One thing that made a huge difference in helping us thrive was being really, really clear about boundaries. We had conversations early on where we agreed if he was going to be the one at home, he would take on the cooking, the cleaning, the household responsibilities, not because I wouldn't help out, but so I could fully focus on work during the day and be fully present when I was home. That clarity helped so much. It meant I wasn't constantly trying to juggle everything. It gave me permission to step into work without feeling like I was failing at home. And I want to be really clear, Andrew has done an amazing job with that. He's navigated this transition with so much grace and consistency, even when I know it hasn't always been easy on his heart. Of course, there were still moments where we both felt it, where resentment would try to creep in. He wanted to be the one providing. I would sometimes long for the days where I could stay home, not have to get fully ready, stay in my comfies, and stay home with the kids. But we were always honest. When those feelings came up, we named them, and saying them out loud took away their power, and that honestly saved us. What I struggle with most internally was that tug of war of mom guilt. That feeling that I was never fully present. When I was home, I felt like I should be working. When I was working, I felt like I should be at home. I also felt myself losing my identity in work. This is something I talk about more in a previous episode, so if you want to watch that, feel free to check out the notes and I will tag that there. I began to tie my worth to my performance and output. It's a slippery slope, especially when your work is something you genuinely love. But what I've learned is that doing both is possible. The magic doesn't come from keeping those parts of yourself completely separate. It comes from embracing the fluidity. I'm a mom and I'm a business owner, and I'm allowed to pivot when one side needs more attention. That's the real superpower. And with that came another layer I hadn't expected, the judgment. When Andrew was working long shifts and couldn't make it to do something with the family, people would accept it. But when I had to miss something because of work, I got the side comments, the concern. I think you're working too much. I just don't want you to burn out. And don't even get me started on how awkward it can be for Andrew to tell people he stays home. The blank stares, the weird compliments, the assumptions. It still baffles me, this discomfort people have around role reversal. I just want to say, we're doing what works for our family. It shouldn't be weird. One thing I do wish I had done better in that season, taking care of myself. That's something I'm really learning and leaning into now, focusing on my spiritual and physical health. But back then, I put myself last. My husband has been much better at protecting time for himself, working out, getting outside, refueling in ways that helps him stay grounded. I didn't give myself that same permission, but I'm learning to now. Our faith played such a big role in all of this. We really try to keep Christ at the center of everything we do. In those uncertain moments, we leaned into prayer, into trust, into believing that the doors opening in front of us were there for a reason, and that trust has never let us down. As hard as it was to have that decision made for us, to have Andrew pulled from the military and for the role reversal to feel so sudden and out of our control, I look back now with so much gratitude because what felt like a disruption was actually divine redirection. We were gifted a life we never expected, and it is beautiful. He's home, he's present, and he's making such a powerful impact on our girls' lives. How many daughters get to say, my daddy raised me, he was there, he took care of me? That is a massive blessing. I know my girls will carry that forever. And I believe it's setting them up to have incredibly high standards for their future husbands. Andrew being home wasn't just a shift for our family dynamic, it became a generational investment. And I am so thankful we followed where God was leading, even when it didn't make sense at the time. If my girls were to listen to this episode one day, I hope they take away this. You can do anything you set your mind to. Whatever dreams live in your heart, you're allowed to chase them. And every decision your dad and I have made, we made with you all in our mind. There's no one right way to build a family or a life. Sometimes roles shift. Sometimes you pivot. Sometimes mom stay home. Sometimes dad does. Sometimes both parents work, and that's all okay. We wanted to give you a life filled with love, adventure, and purpose. And I hope, more than anything, you always know how deeply loved and capable, oh my gosh. When I talk about my babies, it literally, we wanted to give you a life filled with love, adventure, and purpose. And I hope, more than anything, you always know how deeply loved and capable you are. To the woman listening right now who's carrying more than she expected, whether that's financially, emotionally, or mentally, I just want you to know I see you. You're not alone. It's okay to be proud of yourself. It's okay to do things differently. And it's okay to grow through what you never planned for. Thanks for letting me share this today. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Your time is valuable, and I'm honored you spent it here. I hope something in this conversation met you right where you are. If it stirred something in your spirit or spoke to your heart, I'd truly love to hear about it. My DMs are always open. I love connecting with you. And as you go, just remember, you're not walking through this life alone. Until next time, stay grounded, keep showing up, and keep leaning into the purpose that's been placed on your heart. I'll be right here, cheering you on with my whole heart.